Support for this podcast and the following message come from Synchrony. Every business starts with an ambition. So does every purchase. They can lead to new ideas, new experiences, and even newfound success. Whatever people are trying to achieve, Synchrony provides the payment tools and technologies, promotional financing, and retail insights to help make it possible. Because sometimes it takes a little help to put ambitions in reach. That's not just something Synchrony believes in, it's what they do. Find out more at synchrony.com. Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 171 of Total Retail Talks. In today's episode, Executive Editor Joe Keenan sits down with Matt Corey, Chief Marketing Officer of the PGA TOUR Superstore. Listen in as they discuss the launch of the company's new e-commerce storefront with a specific focus on mobile and omni-channel experience. All recorded live at this year's Shop.org in Las Vegas. And now, on to the show.
Hi, I'm Joe Keenan of Total Retail. I'm here at the Shop.org conference in Las Vegas. I am joined by Matt Corey, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of PGA TOUR Superstore. Matt was a speaker here at the event. We have a couple questions about not only here at the event, but also PGA TOUR Superstore recently relaunched its e-commerce store on Salesforce Commerce Cloud. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So thanks for joining me, Matt.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So let's start by talking a little bit about why PGA TOUR Superstore decided to launch this new e-commerce store on the Salesforce Commerce Cloud.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, we as a business, we're very focused on investing in the customer experience. So as we continue to grow our stores, we've got 33 stores today, growing to 50 in the next 2 to 3 years. We continue to reinvent our brick and mortar environment, focused around big putting greens and simulators and sort of high-tech, fun, inspiring experiential elements of a retail store. We have to make sure our online experience is just as good as that. So several years ago, it's been a multi-year journey, we went through the process of mapping out what it would take and the investment needed and why we wanted to move to a more advanced platform that can scale with our business. And so it's the next evolution, and that's really why we did it, was to make sure that the digital experience could be just as good as our store experience could be.
Yeah, so you want to bring that digital experience, that in-store experience, that same level of excitement that the customer has online. So, what are some of the features and functionalities available in this new platform that you believe will help to do that?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's so as we moved over to Salesforce. Salesforce has 400 plus brands. It's a world-class e-commerce platform, and we were on an old, antiquated platform. So by moving to Salesforce, we can leverage all those best practices and that scalability. Our site is already faster. We launched it about a week ago, so it's already faster. The design is so much better and easier to shop, faster checkout, and the mobile experience is head and shoulders. We've seen a 49% increase in mobile conversion in the first week. So pretty good.
Yeah, that was a lead-in perfectly to the next question. I was going to specifically ask about, how does this impact the experience for your mobile visitors and kind of how that's going to grow as a bigger part of the business?
Yeah, and again, this site, this platform for us is a start. It's now we can sell all the products and services that we have on a new platform that is very responsive. It's really easy on a phone. 42% of our traffic comes from phones, not just tablets, but phones. So the experience had to get a lot better, and it has. I think the next step, though, is content. So we all consume content on our phones. And what we don't have yet, which will be fun in the future, are all those how to play better pieces of content. Or if you take a lesson in our store and we videotape you, how do we make sure your video is accessible on your phone while you're on the driving range so you can watch it? So some of those things are coming very, very soon, but this was the first step.
Yeah, it would seem, the way I would think about it is, golfers are very passionate about the sports, about the sport, and they really have taken it, if that's their hobby, that's something so I guess your engagement level with those types of customers and content could be a way, kind of a bridge to kind of make that stronger relationship.
It really can, and it's not just how to play better content, and you see that with the Golf Digest of the world and Golf Magazine, where it seems like it's the same article over and over again, how to read a putt, how to hit a shot out of the bunker, but it's true. Everybody wants to continue to get better, no matter what sport you're passionate about, but it's not just that content. It's also, if I know your favorite player is Ricky Fowler, Well, I can tell you when Ricky's going to be at a particular store doing an autograph signing, or I can tell you when Ricky's going to be part of a marketing campaign, and I can give you some advice. Or here's a great example: trying to improve your short game, right? And you're working on your wedge game. Well, why can't I just send you a video from Phil Mickelson on how to improve your short game, sponsored by Callaway?
Yeah.
We can. The opportunity is there. We've got to get that organized.
So you mentioned this has kind of been a couple-year process. So obviously you've kind of roadmap this out, and you've got goals identified, I'm sure. So what are the business benefits that you hope at PGA Tour Superstore to kind of realize with the launch of this new e-commerce platform?
Yeah, I mean, I look at this investment as our website is our 24/7 brand, right? This is not about driving e-commerce conversion. It's about having a better experience where people can come shop and engage with us. So here's a simple example, something that we don't do today, but we will in the future. If you want to come book a lesson on our site, and there's 3 PGA pros at your local store, we need to have a video from each pro up on the website that explains their experience and their process for teaching, and then you can pick which pro you want to book the lesson with. We've got the lesson scheduling technology, not the personalized videos. So little things like that. This is a marketing vehicle first that can help connect a much better experience holistically for our customers. And for those that don't have a store near them, how do we inspire them with the best brands at the best prices and fun content to go along with it? That's the promise. That's the hope.
Yeah, and I would imagine, the better the experience, the conversion's eventually going to come. That's probably the thought process there. So you mentioned the stores. Let's talk about how this new platform will enable PGA Tour Superstore to better integrate the online and offline channels for your customers.
Yeah, this is what I call, when I talk internally to my colleagues, this is sort of our jumping off point. We needed to get on a much better platform that can really support our business going forward. The next phase of integration is the fun one. What we don't do well today, which we need to get better at, is knowing you as our customer. So today, if you buy a Callaway Rogue driver, you're going to get an email next week with a different driver on it. Why? We need to be smarter about that. If you come in for a lesson or get custom fit, or you're working in our practice bays and you're working on your drives and you're kind of slicing it a little bit, why can't we send you a video on how to hit a draw? We can do that if we take content and information, but the first step is integrating customer data both online and offline, and all the ways that you engage with our brand, even when you come in for services like re-gripping or practice, or like I talked about lessons. We need to bring all that into one place so we get to know you better, and then we can really build the personalization engine on top of that and the CRM engine. So that's our next big adventure. It's exciting.
Yeah, and digital has always been considered easier to kind of collect that customer data. I'm interested with the stores. You talked about maybe equipment servicing or lessons. What the types of data that you're capturing about your customers in store, and how are you getting that information?
Well, it starts with the benefit for the customer for giving that information, right? If they come in and they go through a 1-hour custom fitting to dial in all their specs and what's their flex on the shaft of their club and the loft lie and all the data that is going to build them the right club for their swing so they can play better golf, all that data needs to be captured and then given back to you as a customer. And then we can make it simple. We give it back to you, and if you don't want to buy today, that's okay. You can go home and click the buy button later tonight or tomorrow. And so integrating store data into that digital experience is still a big opportunity. Today, we don't offer checkout in our simulators. You have to take the custom fitting information and go to the register at the front of the store. That'll change in the future. So just making it easier for the customer while they're in the store using technology is something that's going to be fun.
Great. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank Matt Corey of PGA Tour Superstore for joining me today here at shop.org. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, be sure to visit our podcast channel page at www.mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher, but be sure to subscribe to our podcast channel page as well. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.
This podcast was brought to you by Synchrony. Ambitions live everywhere, but sometimes they take help to achieve. That's why Synchrony provides the payment tools and technologies, promotional financing, and retail insights that can help put them in reach. Find out more at synchrony.com.